Yeah, it's your boy Fist in his house. Bring another great edition of Call of Duty 3D, because that's what I do. I'm the map fallen 99, kill confirmed, using a new weapon, G36 silence kicked with sleight of hand, assassin, and stalker. Now I'm going to talk about a couple things in this map. I'm going to talk about, on this gameplay, I'm going to talk about hot fixes for weapons and how they change, how people paint themselves in the corner, you know, with certain gameplays and how they perceive them. And I'm going to talk about, you know, getting tags versus not, when to get tags in the particular game, kill confirm. So let's get it started and get on with this conversation. First off, I want to talk about this hot fix thing. Now, I've noticed in the past with the hot fix fiasco that Infinity Ward and Treyarch like to pull, they got this thing. They got this fetish that they still think that you have to come on their forums. Now look at this right here. I'm hiding in the bushes. This is one of the only places you can hide in foliage in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Most of the times they block you off and it's like a big part where it sticks out. So I found it fascinating sitting there for once. I was like,
let me see if it actually works hiding in the bushes, if I can kill somebody.
So anyways, go back to this hot fix thing. I've noticed that, they got this fetish about going on the forums. Like, their whole thing is, like, still stuck at, I think, to me, it's the 90s. When you're going to the forums and shit, like, that's not the new way to do it. I actually show examples of, things that happen in the game that they should fix. But instead, they want you to go to the forums and have a bunch of people jump on the bandwagon. It's a very small percentage of the majority of people who play the game. So you have to look at how bad that is. You have people on the forums. I mean, that's basically what ruined Modern Warfare 2. People saying, oh, put a nuke, do this, do that, da, 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 da. And it's just a group of people that get off on trolling. And I don't even think Treyarch and Infinity Ward realize that. Like, there's a level of common sense, like, okay, there's a bunch of ideas thrown at them, and then if something gets a push, like the whole thing, create a tag. I remember all the way back to Modern Warfare 2 where there was this big thing like, oh, create a tag and let's customize it, it'll be so cool, and there was a big push behind it, and like, it's like this, it's a different type of internet fame that people like to troll for, and I just find it, I think it's the wrong way about doing things. I think it's more about, let me show you how the guns actually work in the game with video evidence, and then go back and, fix it. Why do I have to go on the forums and then have all these people who live there troll you, when you have video factual evidence, and they get all pissed about it? It just seems like a very outdated way to get things done. Nonetheless, I've noticed that the MP7 and other weapons seem to have changed with the hotfix. I mean, they throw in slight hotfix, and to me, like I said, when they put in the hotfixes for the other weapons, I'm sure that code, like, it's a domino effect or the butterfly effect. It changes when they change script. It changes script. They have to change script for everything. It's some type of effect, and I've noticed that the MP7 damage has went down with the silencer, but I've noticed that the G36 with the silencer is almost like an automatic MK14, and I'm like, damn, that's pretty powerful. The only thing is like, you have to control your ammo burst on the G36 to get that type of effect of the MK14, but it has so little recoil. It's not as laser beam as the ACR. Leading me in my next segue. I'm so thankful. I might not get like the 30 to 40,000 views, but I'd rather post gameplay of what I want to post instead of like, oh, I gotta use the ACR to get these high scores. And it's just like, it's funny to me, like, people accept these huge scores with the ACR and they won't complain about them, but if I'm using the secondary like FMG9s and I barely kill anybody with them, then all of a sudden I get a bunch of hell for it. I just don't understand that logic, you know what I mean? Like the ACR, I never hardly use it in any of my videos unless I pick it up and somebody else drops it, which is amazing. You know, I don't like the ACR. And the reason I don't like the ACR is because, quite frankly, everybody uses it. Now here, you know, I'm getting the tags. Obviously, this is an opportunity to get the tags, and it's to my advantage. You know, a lot of people misconstrue the thought that, okay, there's a tag, I gotta go get it for my team and die. Yeah, if you're close and you're in a battle where you have to, you know, you have to win one for your team and it's really close battle and that's what you have to do, yeah, sure, go ahead and do it. But you'll see it a couple times in this video where I went out and got the tags like a dumbass and got shot in my back. You know, there's a time to get tags and there's a time not to get tags. But, you know, when you're coming down to crunch time, if you want to win the game, then you do what you got to do to win the game. There's a difference. I mean, there is like an if-then statement. You know, get the tags if you can. Don't get the tags if you're in harm's way and it's not going to do nothing but, you know, you're going to die, pick up a tag, and then drop off a tag for the enemy that just killed you. It doesn't make sense, does it? So, those are the things that, you know, I wanted to point out as far as, like, you know, the tags and whatnot. But let me go back to these weapons, you know. I mean, would it be okay if I had FMG9s and I got 100 kills with them? Or, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand the logic behind that. If you got a super high score with a cheesy weapon, then it's okay, right? But if you're not using the cheesy weapon and you don't get a high score, then you know, I mean, I don't understand the double standards there. So, but I don't really, I don't know, maybe they don't consider the ACR an OP weapon, or I mean, I guess because of MLG uses it, it's okay. So yeah, that's another thing I noticed. Like the PP90 is better than the MP7, but yet nobody complains about it. They're like, oh, I don't really care, you know, it's no big deal. Like, okay. I don't understand the logic behind that. It just, like I said, it only proves my point that people stigmatize bandwagon situations of weapons. You know, they bandwagon this misconception, and I only attribute that to childish mental block mentality. You know, I mean, it's just like, it's like I don't know, middle school or little baby school, whatever you want to call it.
Oh my god, Johnny Bobby so said that they're OP, so they gotta be, everybody's gonna, they're OP, he says it so.
And then everybody just jumps on the bandwagon and think it's cool. It's not cool. They're not OP. You know, I don't see nobody jump on the ACR bandwagon. There's so many commentators. See, here, let me clear it up for you. This is like my favorite slide. I'm like Stephen A. Smith. He's got his line. Let me tell you. My line is, let me clear it up for you. That's Fisticuff's patented line. Let me clear it up for you. See, now I think I killed this guy, and then I kill this other dude, and I go get the tags. Now, should I win to get the tags? Probably not. But see, this is what happens. I get shot in my back. So, let me clear it up for you. The reason your favorite commentator uses the OP weapons and they get away with it, like, let's be honest. ACR is OP. And the only reason why your favorite commentator is using ACRs to get high scores is because, let's be realistic about it. You know, all the other weapons and SitRep Pro and everything else in this game, it's not like the beginning. Your favorite commentators, they'll go and get these huge scores when the game first comes out. This is what people don't realize. Then, after the game's been out a year, you know, full year, everybody's on the same level. Everybody's prestiged to 10th prestige. They have everything unlocked. They understand the maps. They know how to play the gameplay. So therefore, there's probably a little bit more even level playing field, especially if your commentator goes solo. And that's why I always go solo in the beginning. I mean, if you're like your favorite commentators rolls with people and they get these scores, you know, I don't really. To me, I'm a real COD fan. So like when I watch somebody's gameplay and I consider them okay or good, I look at them. If they're playing with like 4 or 5 dudes, I don't consider them good. If they're rolling by themselves and they're getting the scores without ACR, primary weapons that everybody uses, then I know that they're a real connoisseur of the game. And they use a lot of different stuff, and I respect that. See, there's a fine line of a small portion of the community, you know, in our respect that I respect. If you get my drift. And that's what you'll see on my channel. You'll see the M16, you'll see the G36, you'll see all the weapons. And they'll get good scores by myself. You see the difference? I love the game. That's a connoisseur of Call of Duty. Peace! I'm out!